What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
Where is Ja? Have me Ja Rule.
They said this is 90s night, so they brought out a 2000 artist. But my album came out in 99, so I guess that counts. Sanchez, we ready?
1 second. I'm loading up. They give me time to load up.
Are we ready? I guess not.
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim.
Welcome, family, to another edition of Above the Rim, episode 85. Brought to you by your honorable host, as always. It's your boy Justin, a.k.a. Just Blaze. And joining me this week, another friend of the show. Brought the homie back once again to pull up to Above the Rim. The homie Mellow Reem is here.
Ew. Headband 3 to the head.
3 to the head. Mellow Reem is here, man. Family, what's good, my brother?
Ain't nothing, man. What's up, Jess?
Chilling, man. You know, same old kid, man. NBA season get wild, brother.
Oh, it's one of the goodest seasons in a long time.
It is one of the most exciting seasons. It's like a drama filled, I would say.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. And family, as always, you can find Above the Rim anywhere you listen to podcasts: iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Spotify. Check the YouTube page as well. Make sure you go subscribe to that. Go to lineups.com as well. Shout out to them. To get into contact with your boy or the show, you can always hit me up on Twitter. Follow me at justblaze_513. That's JUSBLAZE_513. On IG is justblaze513. And on Facebook, just search Above the Rim Podcast. Email the show as well. Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Call up to talk about it line as well. You already know, 908-718-1592. Leave those voicemails. And Reem, where can the family find you, man?
Everything Rich Threads, RICHE_Threads. Twitter,
Everything Rich Threads.
Everything. Twitter, Facebook, all that. I don't know about MySpace, but anything else.
Black Planet.
Word. Skonex.
Let's go next. Word up. Yo, you got any fashion shows or anything like that coming up for the people?
The 27th, we officially launching the spring line. April
27th?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll give you the link. You post that in the joint. I mean, we lit.
Definitely, no doubt. Make sure y'all go check that out, family. And so yeah, man. So first, before we get into the episode, man, Ja Rule. We had to start.
Come on, man.
With the intro, the fall, and the fail of Ja Rule. What was he thinking in that performance, yo?
I don't know, man. You know, Ja Rule's one of my favorites from like that 2000 era. Like before the 50. I mean, he was a harmony dude. I don't know. Fire Fest and turned him sour.
Fire Festival ruined him, yo. That documentary was crazy, by the way.
Word.
It was ridiculous.
Made him look real criminal.
Real shiesty he was looking in there. But Ja, man, I don't know if you saw also the video that came out with Giannis. He went onto the court while Ja was performing and started shooting around in the middle of the performance.
Oh,
dance is still going.
I ain't even see that. That's crazy.
I was like,
So disrespectful.
The disrespect. I gotta give Giannis, man. But so that was hilarious. But yeah, yo. So this episode we gonna do things a little bit different. We're gonna go over each Western Conference team in a playoff race. Me and Reem is gonna tell y'all, the family, if we believe in them or not. Are they a contender? Or are they a pretender? Because there's a lot of teams I feel like on the bubble of being a contender or pretender. So, you know, I brought Reem here for a reason. Reem keeps it real, as always, as I do. And we both got strong opinions. So I really like how this is gonna go. And I like how we're gonna evaluate the teams and everything like that in the Western Conference, bro. So it's gonna be interesting, Reem.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. So contender or pretender. Before we start, I would say when I say contender, we mean like in the West, can they either make it to the West Finals and can they challenge Golden State? Either one or the other or both. Either way, so it'll be good. And if we believe in the team, if they are a legit threat or whatever, we'll call them contenders.
Are they viable?
Are they viable?
Okay.
Exactly. So let's start in Denver, man. Denver, number 2 seed in the West. They got a home record of 26-4 this year, best in the NBA. Second best offensive rating in the league, one of the deepest teams in the league. A lot of people are calling them. They have 8 players, Reem, averaging double figures right now in that squad. So very deep team. So I'm gonna start up with you. You tell me if they are contender or pretender. Then we're gonna go to their strengths and weaknesses. What you got, Reem?
All right. I'll probably go with a contender with them. One, because last year they were 1 game out. Literally 1 game out of the playoffs.
Getting out the AFC. Yeah.
They missed it by 1 game, and then they brought somebody with a hard nose that nobody really anticipated doing anything, and that's Isaiah Thomas. He has a chip on his shoulder, and he's somebody who's gritty, who could bring them together as like an older person in the locker room.
Oh yeah, he's a vet in that locker room
You know
that they could definitely use.
And he got a good rapport with the coach.
Oh yeah, with Mike Malone.
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Mike Malone's a good coach, by the way. A damn good coach, actually.
Yeah.
I really do like him for sure. I hear you.
Yeah, you've never been sold on them ever.
Yo, I'm going pretender all now. I'm going pretender. Listen, I like the Nuggets, right? I don't want it to seem like I'm being disrespectful, like I'm hating on those boys right there. The second seed in the West, they had a great season. They damn near could be first seed because they only 1 game out, I believe, from Golden State. But I'm not gonna lie, Reem. I see them. They have all the makings of a team. Great regular season. And they're gonna head out in that first or second round. I compare them to, what's crazy, to Isaiah Thomas's Celtics a few years ago. Remember when they were the 1 seed against the 8 seed, Rondo and the Bulls, Jimmy Butler and them, and they almost got beat in that series if Rondo didn't go out and get in.
He got hurt.
He got hurt, yeah, because remember they lost home court. They lost both at home, I believe. So I see this team here. I'm not saying this is a better team than that. The Nuggets are very deep, right? So let's go over their strengths and weaknesses.
So you calling them fool's gold? That's what you're saying?
Oh, they most definitely fool's gold.
Okay, they
100%.
They moissanite. All right. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
So disrespectful.
Exactly. So I like them though. I'm not saying they're a scrub team. Not at all. You can't be second seed, first seed in the West by being a scrub team. So they definitely have the depth that people talk about. They definitely are 10 players deep. They have 8 players in double figures, like I said before. And I think to me, their strength going into the playoffs or going into the stretch run of the season is their depth. And I think home court advantage for them is going to be their strengths. Because I think over there playing in Denver is a tough place to play. They talk about the altitude,
the Mile
High City and all that. So I think those 2 factors right there will be their biggest strengths of the team going down the stretch of this season. And I think they're going to get the 2nd seed.
Okay.
So what do you feel like is Denver's strength right now as a team?
I think right now there's their depth. They have a deep squad. They have it might be no brand name players where you want to. I mean, there are no household names, but there are a lot of scrappy players that know their role.
How you feeling about Jokic?
I like Jokic
As a star, as a number 1?
Skill wise, yes, but star power is what really matters in the NBA. Not quite there yet. You know what I'm saying? But they have a real deep team. What I don't like about their team, though, is that point guard situation.
There's a lot going on at that point guard situation.
Murray is not really, he's a scorer.
Jamal Murray, yeah.
But, I mean, towards the playoff, the game changes a little bit. You need a floor general, especially in the West, at the point guard spot. So I don't know how that'll hold up with them. But you know what? I'm on the cusp with them. I might join you. You filled a good point in my head. So I'm kind of 50-50 on them. So I can't really say they're contenders.
Okay. You 50-50 on that. Okay. So to me, their biggest weakness as a team, I'll put there is experience, number 1, playoff experience, because nobody on that roster does have.
No, they got Millsap.
Millsap, yes. Millsap. That's it though.
NIT.
NIT as well. True. That is true. But okay, so we considering that playoff experience for the entire team? Oh, that's cool because you have 2 vets on that roster.
They have the two dominant figures.
That's fair.
That have playing roles.
That's fair. I could pull back on that. Yeah, so experience may not be as much of a factor. Okay, that's fair. And to me, the other thing that I brought up is a star that's not going to get you calls in the playoffs. And that, to me, I think is the issue that I might have with Jokic as the number one option of that team.
I'll agree.
Because, in the playoffs, the game slows down, right? Yeah. People are going to be defending Jokic a lot harder. They're going to be a lot more physical with him. There's some big boys in the West and stuff like that. So he's not really himself. He's not really used to playoff basketball and how that works, and how you always said it before, how the refs can dictate a series and are they calling the same calls in the playoffs? You talk about that with Harden all the time.
Yeah.
So we don't know how that's going to translate to Jokic also. And then remember, these playoff games, they're high intensity. I like Jokic's skill, but it's his heart there.
Yeah, he plays at a slower demeanor.
Yes. Yeah. He's real mild-mannered. So that's the only thing I worry about a little bit with the Nuggets. Mm-hmm. And because I feel like the West is so deep, depending on who they play, I think they could go out. Let's say, for instance, they play the Lakers in the first round. I think
let's talk about them boys in a minute.
We can talk about them boys in a minute, but you know what I'm saying? I'm not sold on Denver yet, is what I'm saying. I got to see him.
Okay.
That's fair?
It's definitely fair.
Okay. That's fair. So moving on. Oklahoma City Thunder. Third in the West right now. I'm going to go contender with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I actually really like their team from top to bottom. I feel like their strengths to me is length, number one. And I think their defensive intensity and their rebounding is their strengths on that team. So I am sold on them. I really do think they're a contender. They're third in the West right now. Paul George and is having a MVP caliber season. Russell Westbrook, it looks like he got a little bit smarter. Looks like it, in terms of decision making and how he's managing the game. He's gotten a lot better in that. He's giving the reins to PG. It looks like, I'm gonna say quotations, it looks like for right now. So I'm feeling OKC, and I actually do like the makeup of their roster. So I think they have some good strengths, the length and defensive intensity I was talking about, and I think it's a contender. Reem, what you thinking?
This is a sore spot for me because they on this podcast they called me Mellow Reem.
Mellow Reem.
And the way that Mellow exited the conversation at OKC, it wasn't good. But
bitter taste.
But I really like the way they reconstructed the roster with Melo's departure. They gave Grant a bigger role.
Yeah,
he's a high energy player, which is what he does can't be taught. And then they have a backup with Schroeder. He kind of brings Westbrook into a realm. Like, if Westbrook is wilding, we can sit him for an extended period and we rein it back in. And I really like what they're doing.
I do. What do you think about Schroeder as the pickup?
Schroeder's really good.
He's really good.
They had Felton last year.
They did.
No disrespect to Felton, but all disrespect to Felton.
So disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, get out of Felton. All disrespect.
He hasn't been a backup for a couple of years now, as far as like in shape and all of that. But I like what they did.
I do. I definitely like the additions to that team, and Marcus Morris as well.
They just brought the Morris.
Is it Markeith? I'm actually.
They brought Markeith over.
Markeith over.
Yeah.
I was mad.
Not senior.
Not senior.
Yeah, they brought him over. That was pretty decent. He should have went to Houston.
He should have, man.
But it's a solid fit. And Adams is always tough.
They got Nerlens Noel coming off that bench. Some length that I talked about. Defensive intensity.
Last year, I couldn't even name the center last year.
That's true.
So I really like what they did. And for me, I say contender. Because they play on the defensive end first. Yes. The 3-point ball might be their Achilles heel. But the fact that Westbrook has taken a step back and Paul George is playing forget playoff P. He's playing before the foot injury.
Yes.
Paul George. So I gotta go with contenders on them.
Okay, I hear that. So with that being said, I'm glad you brought up perimeter shooting with the Oklahoma City Thunder, because I agree with you there. And I think that right there is gonna be the Achilles heel of that team, especially when it comes off down to playoff time, because I think if one of those boys go cold, either Russell Westbrook or Paul George in a playoff series, I feel like they're going to have some trouble scoring. And I think because Jeremy Grant, you can't rely on him to get a bucket. Steven Adams has to be set up. Schroeder could get a bucket now. I'll give it to him.
Yes and no. The Morris twin might be a big signing for them.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be good though. I think he's gonna play well
because the senior is shooting good in Boston, but he's a better shooter than his brother.
He is, and he's a gritty defender too.
It's just working him into offense. You know what I'm saying? He's been out for a little while with a neck injury. So now getting him back into the fold, he might become a bigger piece than we see right now.
And what I like about him though, I like that he's not afraid of to take the big shots. I do like that about him.
He'll shoot it.
He'll definitely, like, if you kick it out to him at the end of the game, he's going to shoot it.
Yeah.
And he does make them quite often. Sometimes he does make it. I'm not going to front.
Yeah.
I do like that about him. But I think only because I say the shooting as a whole, because Jeremy Grant is not a great three-point shooter. Russell Westbrook is a horrible three-point shooter this year, as we know.
20-some%.
20-some%.
And they waived the Breenus.
And I looked it up, and I said the only two players on their team who's above the league average, which was like around 35% or whatever. Patrick Patterson and Paul George. Yeah. Everybody else is way below 30% from three.
It's
in the playoffs.
It's a little funny because NBA, like, for 3-pointers and defense, like, it balances out one way.
It does.
And they lead the league in, like, tips and steals.
Yeah, deflections.
And
yeah,
so,
they do. So
it can be figured out.
It can be figured out.
I mean, and they have a big lineup.
That's what I like. Their length, man. I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna definitely give some teams trouble in the playoffs for sure, most definitely. So moving on, the Portland Trailblazers, 4th in the West right now, 4th in offensive efficiency. Dame is giving you 26 and 6 right now this year. CJ is giving you 20. Nurkic is giving you 15 and 10. Reem, I'm gonna start with you. Contender or pretender for the Portland Trailblazers?
Sorry, but these guys are always going to be pretenders to me until they find a legitimate 3-4. Like I don't know. It's going to be the same formula for them for the next foreseeable future until I see a 3 or 4 that can really produce at least 15 points a game on a nightly basis. I can't guarantee Mo Harkless can give me really anything. Like, I mean,
I agree.
He's a decent
Farouk Aminu.
Yeah, they're decent swingmen from like every other game, but like every night I can't guarantee anything from those guys.
What about Rodney Hood that they just picked up from Cleveland?
Rodney Hood, he hasn't been good since like Utah or something.
Not feeling Mr. Hood?
Nah.
He could get some buckets though, I think.
He was exposed for the whole situation with the Cavs and all of that. Like he couldn't figure out he couldn't figure his slot in a big slot with next to LeBron.
He was a little emotional.
He was crying, all of that.
Oh, he was definitely crying. He said, "I'm not used to playing like this."
Yeah.
As a so you know.
He's not known for nothing else other than shooting anyway, so I don't know what the whole crying was about in the you know what I mean?
True.
And you're not gonna get that much shots next to CJ and Dame.
I mean, if he can emerge though as a third scorer, what do you think? Do you think he can?
You still got the Curry boy over there.
Oh, Seth Curry.
He ain't shooting better than Curry.
Nah, but he's bigger than Seth Curry. So he can play the 3.
He still got to put the ball on the floor. I don't really like him as a ball handler.
Okay.
So, I mean,
okay.
Yeah. Then you got Zach Collins. There's a lot of he's every 5 games maybe. There's a lot of pretending over there.
You got Nurkic giving you 15 and 10.
Solid. Him and this guy they got from the Knicks.
Enes Kanter.
Yeah, I like he can't guard my grandmother. But
Enes Kanter, right?
No. He's slow foot, but he's good for 15 and 10.
But see, if he's giving you 15 and 10 off the bench, Nurkic is giving you 15 and 10 as a starting center.
Yeah.
Could that qualify as a third option? Those two together as your third and be all right?
For Kanter, nah, not really, because he'll give you 15 and give up 30. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
true indeed.
It's a little, I mean,
I don't know if you saw. Did you see that game earlier this weekend? Ben Simmons and Enes Kanter got into it. When Ben Simmons got into his face and said that you soft, he said you ass. He said you ass for being able to shoot like that and talk all of this. Basically, Ben Simmons was trying to puff up his chest to Nurkic and Kanter. Are we believing?
He's a
Come on, man.
That guy's he's still an incomplete player, man.
Ben Simmons is a pretender right now.
He's a 2K trying to get your VP points up. He's not done yet.
He's not done yet.
Nah,
he's still in my career right now.
He gotta relax.
So back to Portland. All right, so the strength to me of their team, if they do have a little bit of strength, to me, I feel like is their familiarity, within the roster, because pretty much that core has been here for a few years. got a little camaraderie or whatever the case may be, a little unity, but that to me is their strength and their weakness, because to me now I feel like that roster is stale.
Yeah, so they got swept last year, bro. They got
Drew
swept.
Holiday and Anthony Davis.
That's Black Jesus. Don't do that don't do that, Black Jesus.
Come on, man.
They got swept though.
They did.
It's the same core. It's the same core. They haven't been good like a contender in my eyes since Batum left.
Remember when they had Wes Matthews there at that time?
Yeah, they had gunners.
They did.
And then they're 3-4 left in Aldridge. They're still trying to figure out that gap.
Yeah, that's a problem. So so before we move on, say for instance they they dropped down to 7th, right? And they play in Denver, first round. Portland and Denver. Could they make a run for their money against Denver, or
no?
Quick series?
Just quick.
Quick. So you really got no faith in Portland right now.
Because remember Nurkic and Jokic played together.
Yeah,
he was his backup.
Yeah, so they do know each other's moves.
You know what I'm saying? They know one another. And
he's just gonna dominate him.
Of course, he's in the MVP race right now.
He is. He's a top 5 MVP candidate.
Yo, to come clean, you know who's a good fit over there, right?
Melo.
You already know.
Talk about it.
Yo, no, seriously, they're not even looking at Melo though, man. That's crazy.
I don't know who they're looking at, but go ahead. Let's
get moving on, man. My Houston Rockets began a very sticky...
I'm gonna let you start with this, because you're gonna get passionate with this one.
Give me the reins, Reem, because my Rockets right now, 5th in the West, 2nd in offense, 24th in defense, though. Ridiculous. 24th in defense. We just had one of the biggest wins of the season this weekend. Give my man some love.
Hold on. Let me jump in right here. Just text me out of the blue. I ain't say nothing to the man all night. CP3 went off. The text read, "Wash who?"
What?
Talk about it.
So you got it, fam. Go ahead.
That's facts. Washed. Yo, I was hyped, man. That was a big game. So we had a big game. And CP went over there, took the troops over there in the Oracle. Had a splendid game. Showed that he was a point guard, 23 and 17. Exposed DeMarcus Cousins a little bit on a pick and roll cover. They ran a lot of high screen rolls. Everybody looked better. Everybody looked confident. Everybody was touching the ball. Everybody was eating. Golden State looked a little on their heels a little bit. The Rockets were playing very good defense, mind you. And the game plan was working. So I had to give them some credit. It was a big win. You had to say it was a big win, Reem.
It was solid. For Harden not to be there and to win dominantly.
It was a big win.
I tip my hat off to them.
Okay, so I also so getting on to the Rockets now. Fareed, I think it's a very great pickup for us. He's averaging career high 16 and 10 right now since he's been here. So I got to give him some love. And I want to say this, man, because people, like you said, I said wash too about CP. There's been a lot of chat about the decline of Chris Paul this year, how he hasn't been the same, about his injury history and things of that nature. His contract as well. There's been a lot of chat about that. And I just wanted to run off some numbers real quick that I looked up since CP3's impact, since he came back from injury. They're plus 10 since he's coming back. They're -3 when he's off the court, plus 10 when he's on the court. Since he's been on Houston, right, he's played 109 total games. Their record is 82 and 27 when Chris Paul plays. That's a 75% win percentage. So that's a big deal right there. Most regular seasons in Rockets history last year. They had a single season record for them. First time James Harden won MVP with Chris Paul. They went to Western Conference Finals 3-2. They had a legit shot to win it against one of the best teams ever assembled, quote unquote, as they call them. But most importantly, though, they're 3-0 this season against the Warriors. They're 8-5 against the Warriors as a whole.
3-0.
3-0 this season. 3-0.
I didn't know that.
3-0, brother. They won one without.
All right, brother.
They won one without CP. They won one without Harden, and they won one with both of them there.
Okay.
So they're 3-0 against them. 8-5 since Chris Paul has been there in Houston against Golden State over this last year and a half. And 7-3 7-3 when Chris Paul plays because he lost. He didn't play in 2 of those games in the conference finals, so that's their record with him there, 7-3.
Okay.
And I think to me, the strength of this Rockets team right now, I feel like they're battle tested right now, and I think to me that's going to be a major plus for them going down the stretch of the season. And of course, I have them as a contender. I don't feel like I need to even say that. Of course, I got them as a contender, and I think their strengths to me is they're battle tested. They have a clear identity that I think a lot of teams don't have, what a lot of teams lack, a clear identity and a clear system that they have, and a scoring machine in James Harden that I think will be essential in the playoff time. So I think those 3 factors right there are their main strengths going into the playoffs and down the stretch run of the season. And of course, I think they're going to be a contender, Reem.
It's my turn?
Yes, sir.
All right. Listen.
How you feeling? Contender or pretender on the Rockets?
They did my man dirty too. but
They did.
But
D'Antoni.
But I might have to agree with you. Not exactly for the same reasons. One reason I like that they showed up the backup center position because they went a lot of directions with older Nene. They went with what was the left-handed dude name? He's on a 2-week contract. White guy.
Oh, Hartenstein.
Yeah. He wasn't he wasn't what they needed.
Not at all.
So now they have a viable second big.
And Kenneth Faried.
And I really like the high-low action that they were doing the last game with the taking one
CP.
dribble and actually finding Capella on the alley.
He had a lot of those alleys, those little baby jump hooks. Faried did a couple of those jump hooks.
From Faried. So I like that. I still want to see a little bit more from Eric Gordon as far as consistency.
He's been playing better as of late.
But I want him to be more consistent. Maybe he needs to find his role back as the 6th man.
Yes.
By
Well,
far.
he's going to be coming off the bench now because they got Faried starting. They're testing out that lineup.
Okay,
the 2 big lineup.
I don't know if I like that.
They started against Golden State.
They gotta find this House kid back.
Oh, Daniel House.
I really liked his attitude, the way he finished at the basket, and he wasn't scared to take the 3 next to my man Harden.
Yeah, I agree.
But contender, 100%. Yes.
What do you feel like would be like Houston's strength going into the strength run or going into the playoffs? What would be their strengths as a team?
Their strengths as a team will probably be they'll always have a floor general on the court.
Oh, for 48 minutes, you'll have
You'll either have a CP or you'll have a Harden, and then you'll always have a lob option.
In Capella or Faried.
Yeah, so I like that.
Okay.
Because that's their offense.
Definitely. You know, they do a lot of high screen and rolls.
Yeah.
Screen and roll you to death, actually. If you look at that Golden State Warriors game, they were screen and rolling them to death. Chris Paul, he had double screens at the top of the key. Every time he got a screen, he jumped back to the mid post, and then he would get another screen.
Yeah.
And do the snake dribble, would snake around, and it worked.
They picked up a few people too that's kind of helpful.
Of course, Austin Rivers was a great pickup. They got my man Shump right now.
Shump's hurt.
He came back tonight.
But I like the fact that he's a 3-and-D option, and he's a little bigger.
He's a little bit
than
bigger.
Rivers.
Yeah, exactly. So he can guard the threes, and I feel like he's tough minded. He got that dog in him.
Yeah.
I could trust Shump in a physical game.
Houston has made a real transition from the opening roster. Man.
They got rid of everybody. The entire bench basically they scrapped out. The entire bench, and they just picked up Terrence Jones right now on a 10-day. Remember Terrence Jones that used to be there?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. The dude they cut was averaging 13. Just saying. That's all.
For real.
Shout out Melo wherever he's at.
Melo Reem. But you know what's crazy? A weakness, right? Because I was thinking about Houston. To me, their biggest weakness is D'Antoni. Let me tell you why, man. I think D'Antoni's his stubborn style of coaching is the one thing that I feel like that could hold Houston back, because his lack of adjustments, I feel like, in the playoff series.
100% agree with you.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a problem for us. And his stubbornness, like when the game plan is not working, like if they're not hitting their threes, like how it was in Game 7, you got to adjust.
There's no plan B.
No plan B. But I think that's where Chris Paul was missed in the game in Game 6 and Game 7, because Harden, he's a great player, but he's not necessarily a leader. He's not a floor general. He's a great point guard, a great shooting guard, a great distributor, but he's not a floor general to me. His assists come off of him scoring, basically. So I feel like D'Antoni might be But we have to overcome the damn Tony factor and his rotations as well, because he only is going to play about 8 or 9 guys, which is a problem. He got to open that up.
I can't believe it. I'm agreeing with you again.
So I'm talking about, man. I mean, Dan Tony, man. He's an interesting guy, man. But you know what? So do you think our Rockets can contend and they can beat Golden State in the series?
You
know I do. I want to know what you think.
It'll go another 7 games. They have a deeper team than Golden State doesn't have a bench at all. And CP3, he talked a little trash to my man Iggy.
Big Iggy? Oh yeah,
he was. I thought you would have the fact that you weren't there. Like, I mean, you were here. What happened?
Yeah,
we didn't have our man. But you know what I mean. I like the depth compared to Golden State. But the only matchup that I find that might be an issue for them is Durant. He might be a defensive issue for Houston.
I mean, he's an issue for everybody, though.
Yeah, but they don't really have a mobile 7-footer that can move the way.
I agree. Trevor Ariza was like the perfect prototype for a defender against Kevin Durant. I 100% agree.
Yeah, but everybody else is a 1-on-1. Like,
PJ, I think, can muscle him up a little bit, but there's going to be a lot of times where he gets shot over.
Yeah, the height difference.
Plenty of time.
It matters.
Definitely, I agree. So let's move on now. We got to talk about the team at LA, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in LA right now, Reem. A lot of things. So the Los Angeles Lakers, they are 10th in the West right now. Not even in the playoffs right now. They're 21st in offense, 12th in defense. On the outside, looking into the playoff bracket, which is pretty surprising to me. I saw online that usually the standard to get into the playoffs is around like 44 wins, 45 wins, something like that. And in order for the Lakers to get there by the end of the season, they have to basically go
20-5 or something crazy.
15-8, let's say, down the stretch, or better. 15-8 is the minimum.
Yeah.
And that's if other teams lose as well. You get what I'm saying? To even it out a little bit. So they basically have to do better than that. So can they do that to get into the playoffs, number one, Reem, do you think? The Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, boy.
Sigh on those boys.
It's tough, but I might have to go no, man. I mean, yo, Baylor, where you at, man? Just letting you know. To me, I think the morale was just... they just took the air out the balloon with that whole AD thing.
Yeah.
And he's dealing with a lot of young pups. And him getting hurt didn't help. And believe it or not, I mean, LeVar called it. Like, my boy ain't there and they've been losing.
He did say it.
Saying he ain't going. He's a stat filler with the minimum amount, but he makes a difference to me personally.
Zoe,
yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's basically like their best defender.
He's their best on-ball defender.
100%. And he picks up guards 94 feet. He picks them up full court.
They don't have anybody like that. And LeBron been playing the worst D of his career. Like, I've watched him just lollygag around the court, and he's frowning on every play.
He's making faces.
He's starting to piss me off, really.
Thank you.
Like, you are like one of the ninth wonders of the world, bro.
You on the Mount Rushmore basketball. People are having you in the same breath as Michael Jordan right now.
And he doesn't have that kill switch. He said it's activated.
It's playoff LeBron.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Playoff LeBron activated. Get out of here.
I'm not buying. This might be a burnt season for him, to be honest with you.
I'm glad you brought that up. So I'm gonna play this clip right here from LeBron James of what he talked about when we talked about him in the young pups and how he's being rather emotional this season right now. So this is what he had to say after the game when they lost to the Pelicans the other night.
I mean, it's how you approach the game every day. It's how you think the game every day. It's how you play the game. It's how you prepare for the game. And that's not even like when you get to the arena. That's like way before that. You know, like, is basketball, is that the most important thing while we're doing this? You know, is this the most important thing in your life at this time? You give it all, to that game, and then if you feel like you put it all into it, then you have nothing to kind of look back on. You're able to do other things. If you feel like you're giving it all to the game, then you can go do other things. But if you feel like that you're not giving as much as you can, then you can't focus on anything else. That's just my personal take.
When you decided to sign with the Lakers, obviously you knew what they'd been through the previous 5 years. Is this something you had maybe anticipated would be part of the challenge?
Yeah, I know it's going to be very challenging, just because of the experience that the roster had at that point in time. I knew it was going to be challenging from that sense, but I felt like we can still play better basketball.
So LeBron James. So let's dissect this clip right here. Is basketball the most important thing to you in your life? The guys are not they're afraid to be uncomfortable. Reem, who do you think LeBron is taking shots at? Is it B.I.? Is it Kuz?
It's the young boys.
All of the young boys.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like Kuz and Ingram, they're like young rock stars in their own right. They're from a different era, from a different cloth.
I agree.
He can't really be talking to Tyson and JaVale because they have championship pedigree. They have rings. Like,
Definitely not talking to Rondo either.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's like, these young kids, this is what you signed up for.
That's what I'm saying.
You're supposed to be their mentor. They look up to you.
You're supposed to be the leader by example.
Yeah, but for him to come back and like defer to them is like, they should be following behind you. If it takes you 40 shots, have the no shade to Westbrook at times. We dislike him, but have the Westbrook mentality. Will your team to victory.
I agree.
And he hasn't been doing that.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy to me? LeBron, I mean, he's very media savvy, right? He always knows what's going on around him, right? Yeah. So you don't think these young boys, I mean, I know he knows that these young kids on his team, Kuz, B.I., Ingram, Zoe, all of them, they're on Twitter like we are. So you think they're not seeing the same clips that we're seeing of LeBron James, about his body language? And,
of course.
Exactly. So to me, I'm like, if you know that they're seeing clips of you with this body language when they're on the court with you, that should be an enlightening moment to you. Like, all right, let me chill. Let me at least not show the emotion. I'm not like an emotional LeBron right now.
It's not cool, man.
And what's crazy to me is he said in a quote, is basketball the most important thing to you in your life? But think about this. Is basketball the most important thing to LeBron in his life right now? Is he?
He wants to be. He got Space Jam 2 coming out.
Got Space Jam 2 coming out. He feel me? And even further, right?
Got the shop.
I got the shop going on. He got this thing going on. He got an album coming out with 2 Chainz.
A&R and
A&R. You know what's crazy? I got the clip from this week song. Look at this crap.
I'm rare. Like a $2 bill. Like a $2 bill. Like a $2 bill. Like a $2 bill.
What was that? That's what you're working on in the middle of the season?
I would take my headphones off right now and walk away. Right now.
That was the song the clip of the song that he put out. Come on, LeBron, man. Yeah. LeBron to me is I'm starting to call it. Shout out to Joe. I used to say LeBron checkout watch. He usually does this around the end of the season, stuff like that. If he starts whining or if things don't go his way because he's not happy that the team is not where he thought they would be, I guess, or he's unhappy with the roster as a whole because they didn't get AD. So I feel like he's sulking a little bit.
He asked for these players, though.
But he did want them gone. So I guess to me, it looks like he's sulking a little bit. Then now he has to work hard in order to get them into the playoffs. And to me, I feel like he feels like his roster's not good enough to win. So it's like, why am I showing all this effort?
This is the pretend all the way. This is straight from from the coaching to LeBron to Magic to Pelinka to not getting mellow to me potentially hearing players like Ben McLemore and Randolph connected to the Lakers at this point in time. I don't know what's going on. This is a dub for them. It's over. See you next year. It's over.
I feel you, man. I definitely think they're a pretender, man. But what's crazy is
Ben McLemore.
So, do you think if they get into the playoffs, play anybody else other than Golden State in the first round, do you think it's a chance that they could beat anybody? Say, for instance, they play Denver, first round, 2-7 matchup.
You know what's crazy? I'm talking all of that, but Denver, for some reason, LeBron could be a kryptonite to a lot of teams.
That's what I'm saying.
But they got to get there first, and I don't believe that they'll get there. That's the only problem. Like LeBron versus like the Blazers.
I'm going LeBron on that one.
Yeah, I'm going LeBron versus the Blazers, and that's nuts. But you know what I mean? Like he has to actually get these kids to actually like buy into what's going on. I think Kuz is all in. but their de facto player that forget Ingram. Ingram is hit or miss. They got to get this kid Hart back.
Oh,
in.
Josh Hart, yeah.
I like
playing
him.
well too.
I like him because he plays with emotion. When he gets in, they always come back.
Yeah,
Always. And it's not even on the offense. He's just a rhythm player.
oh, he is 100%.
I like him, but LeBron, stop sulking, man.
Stop sulking, man. Get it together and show that effort, man. I'm a little sick of LeBron right now. 100%. The Utah Jazz, bruh. A very interesting team as well. 6th in the West, 19 in offense, 3rd in defense this year. Got Donovan Mitchell up there giving you 22 a night. To me, the strength is the defense, obviously, of course. One of the best defensive teams in the league. I think they have a great home court advantage. I think it's really hard to go up there and play in Utah. And to me, I think they are a fringe contender. I feel like they can only be a contender in the right matchup. And when I say in the right matchup, I feel like they can beat a lot of teams in the West. I don't think they can beat Golden State. Houston, I think, obviously will beat them, but I think they can push Houston to a 7-game series. I think they could push OKC to 7. I think low-key they could beat OKC in a series for some reason because they match up pretty well with them.
I don't think this year.
Nah, not this year. They almost beat them. They took them double overtime to win in OKC the other night. Paul George game-winning shot, it took them to win.
Yeah, they do play them tough.
They played them because you know what? They play Westbrook very tough. That's what it is.
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row they played him, and they played him very well. So I feel like depending on their matchup will depend how far their season goes, or if the season goes anywhere. Because anybody else, I feel like they're gonna get beat off the court. But OKC, if they play them, that might be a solid matchup. If they get the 4-5 and they play in Portland, they could beat Portland. You would take Portland over Utah?
Yeah, that's a good matchup too.
That's what I'm saying.
I like the bigs versus the bigs.
That's why I'm like a fringe contender.
Yeah, that's a good,
Depending on matchup.
Lillard might get in Rubio ass. That's what I'm saying.
He might. And I just think that the weakness to me is they just don't have enough shot creators, though. Other than Mitchell, who's really getting you a bucket on their own on that team? That, to me, is my only issue with them.
Yeah, they're always like a creator away.
Yeah, from Contender.
I don't really like Rubio from time to time, but sometimes, for some reason, versus OKC, he turns up.
He does. That's why I say he likes playing against Westbrook, man. He does.
Yeah.
He does.
But I'm on the fence with him.
Okay.
In
the middle.
Yeah, last year I called out the deficiencies in Mitchell's game. Mm-hmm. He goes hard left to finish right hand dunk.
Yeah, he does. He always eventually puts it over to his right.
Yeah, but now is a little scouting report on him. It might change in the playoffs, but I might have to. Damn, this is hard. I'm 50-50. I really can't decide on that.
Okay.
Contender, pretender. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said fringe.
I'm gonna go pretend on that.
Okay. The San Antonio Spurs.
It's over.
7th in the West right now. They're 6th in offense, which I didn't know. I was like, okay, that was surprising. 6th in offense, 25th in defense, pretty low there. To me, they're a pretender. I definitely think they are. To me, their strength, of course, coaching. Greg Popovich, he can whip up a nice game plan depending on who they go against any opponent. And experience as well, I think, is also their strength. But the weakness to me is depth over there. After DeRozan, after Aldridge, after Rudy Gay, the next best scorer is Brian Forbes. Brian Forbes is their 4th best player.
Nah, they have another one, the white kid. He came off an injury. He's pretty solid, but
Jakob Poeltl?
No,
Bertans.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Brian Forbes is their 4th leading scorer. Right after Rudy Gay, he's their 4th leading scorer. That's what I'm saying.
There's another kid named White, though. There's another kid named White. He was injured. He's pretty decent, but he's not tested. He's not battle tested.
Not at all.
Yeah,
pretender for them?
Pretenders.
Of course. I mean, do you think DeRozan could do some damage in the playoffs?
No, DeRozan was just in Madison Square Garden doing 360 layups and all types of foolishness. It's
they lost over there to the Knicks.
Yeah, they got punched.
Yeah, they did.
I just think DeRozan's hurt. That he's not himself this season.
I mean, he went over there against Toronto. He played a good game. Went down to the wire.
And he didn't shoot the winning
Game winner.
Yeah.
He did. He passed it off, which was, I didn't know what he was thinking at that point.
I don't like the makeup of that team, though. There's a lot of, like, nobodies and then, like, a bunch of old people in the background. Like, you still got Gasol on the roster.
I feel like there's a lot of spare parts going on with San Antonio.
Yeah. There's a lot of tradable pieces.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So, like, it might be their best interest not to make the playoffs. To get, like, a 19th pick or something like that.
That, to me, I'd rather make it.
But they have
Make
pieces
some
to
noise.
trade for.
They true. I mean, they're not a contender, but I still would like to be in the playoffs. Me personally, but who knows? Sacramento Kings, 8th in the West right now, 18th in offense, 18th in defense. Pretender to me, most definitely. To me, I think they got youth and they got hunger on their side, so I think that's going to be nice for them. The weakness to me is experience, obviously, in their squad. But, I really like what the Kings are doing this year. I'm very impressed with them. You got De'Aaron Fox giving you 17 and 7 this year. You got Buddy Hill giving you 20 this year. I like the Harrison Barnes. The Harrison Barnes pickup. He's been playing pretty well for them, I'm not going to lie. I like the team, but to me, they don't have enough. And I don't even have them getting into the playoffs. I think the Lakers are going to knock them out. And I don't even think they're going to make it at all. I think the Lakers are going to inch them out in the last game or two of the season. And I think I would rather to see the Lakers in the playoffs over the Kings.
You love seeing the Lakers in there right now?
I want to see that. I want to see them against Golden State first round, man. But I wouldn't be mad if the Kings got in and the Spurs fell out.
You know what? I want to say pretenders with them, but
you feeling the Kings this year?
I'm feeling them. I like their hunger.
Their hunger, man.
You know what I mean? They're not battle tested as far as any type of experience, really. Harrison Barnes got a few, he got a few deep runs, but the fact he got a title too. But the fact that they are trying to not tank is what I appreciate.
I like that.
They don't have a lot of key pieces, but Buddy Hill showed why he was a high draft pick.
I'm very impressed.
And then Fox was like, you drafted Lonzo before me. Let me show you this. And, a lot of chips on their shoulders over there. I like it.
Do you think De'Aaron Fox, is he a franchise player to you?
Yeah, that's the he'll probably be like the West Coast Kimber.
That's solid. Okay.
Not like the top tier, but that second rotation of guards.
Tier of point guards.
He'll probably be like what Mike Conley was.
Can you build a team around De'Aaron Fox?
Yeah.
Build a title contender.
You gotta see.
That's what building a team is.
This is second year?
Second year.
We don't really know in the second year.
He made a major leap this year. He's got 17 to 7 this year.
Yeah, but remember last year they wasn't really starting him.
True.
They started George Hill in front of him. So you know what I mean? Now he got the keys to the offense. Ain't showing what he could do.
I really like what I'm seeing out of him, man. I like the speed. I like the fire. He always had the fire though in college.
But they're playing at his pace.
Yes.
They're a run and gun team. So that means that, he's one of the franchise players.
They got the perfect big for him with Willie Cauley-Stein. He runs the floor.
He's playing good too.
You do.
And Harry Giles.
Harry Giles. Yo, they
remember Harry Giles before the knee injury, he was slated to be one of the top picks.
Marvin Bagley.
I like what they're doing over there.
Me too. I do like what they're doing.
They were a laughing stock
for a few years.
Coming into the season with the whole Divock and Shaq is one of the owners over there. But I like what they do. I might buy into what they got going on.
Okay. I would like to see them in the playoffs though. It will be interesting.
Over like you said over San Antonio.
Over San Antonio.
Yeah, I think it will be more exciting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Might be more exciting.
Them against Denver will be a decent little first round.
Him and Murray.
That's what I'm saying.
I would actually love to see that.
I would like to see that. So
that's crazy.
I hope the Kings get in, man. I'm actually rooting for the Kings, man. I actually am, definitely. So yeah, last but not least, Golden State Warriors. We all know they are a contender. But for them, to me, I wanted to ask if there's one thing that can stop them from winning a title. And to me, I feel like hunger is what could stop them. To me, they don't look as hungry this year. I feel like, to me, I think that when I look at them, I see a team that feels like they should win rather than they need to win. So to me, rather when they feel like they should win, it's because we should win because we're the most talented team in the league. But we don't really need to win. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like they are definitely going to turn it up another gas when they get to the playoffs, as they always do. Because, their focus goes to another level. But I feel like in the right matchup, like I think the Houston Rockets and Oklahoma City can really push them in a 7-game series,
I agree.
man. And depending on if they have a rough night or depending on if Boogie Cousins takes too many shots, I feel like he's actually going to hurt them a little bit in the playoffs. Because to me, if they're playing a team like the Rockets, I'd rather Boogie Cousins in because the more he shoots, the less Steph Curry shoots, the less Klay Thompson shoots, the less Kevin Durant shoots. So the more shots for him, if he's taking 15 to 20 shots, that's less shots for each one of those boys right there. And I'd rather take that 2 over a 3 any day of the week. And then they play 2 bigs in Draymond Green and DeMarcus Cousins. So they're a little bit slower.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad when DeMarcus Cousins is in the lineup, to be honest with you. I'd rather him over Iguodala in there because that's more versatile to me. What can stop them from winning the title?
Their bench. Their bench is really bad. They don't like.
So you're not feeling Livingston anymore. You're not feeling
not the fact that
Cook.
Livingston's been somebody that can get you a bucket in the past, but he's more like an organizer now. He don't really shoot as often.
Like a game manager.
Yeah. He's like,
he's not dynamic to me at
not
all.
anymore. Not anymore. Because before he was able to take advantage of a shorter second tier guard. He doesn't really do that anymore.
He doesn't.
And then you got who's their backup big? Bell.
Kevin Looney now.
He doesn't really shoot threes.
Jordan Bell.
Yeah, he doesn't. They don't really shoot. They're not offensive minded. Then you got Cousins is pretty slow of foot with the Achilles even slower.
LeVar.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Their Achilles heel for me might be their bench.
So do you think they can be beat this year?
This might be the best opportunity because Draymond's shooting
Like
garbage.
20%, something like that.
People
Even lower
walking
than
away
that.
from him while he's shooting
I would.
shots.
I would let him shoot those.
He might be the person that you play boxing one on KD. And let Draymond shoot.
I would do that 100%. Definitely. So
if San Antonio get in, Pop won't win, but he'll put the blueprint out on how to beat him.
That would be a solid matchup also as well.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he would, because he would cook up a great. I mean, he doesn't have Kawhi there with him this time, but he would definitely put up the right game plan. And those guys on the Spurs, they're gonna play hard.
And if Padella looked at it properly, then he'll give the answers to the Rockets.
I mean, that'd be nice. I'll take it. I'll take it.
We know you will.
Definitely right. I skipped the Clippers also because they're not trying to make the playoffs. We know they're
winning by mistake, though.
They're winning by mistake. They traded away Tobias Harris, which is, I mean, we know why. Because if they don't make the playoffs, then they get their pick back from Boston.
You know what? While we talking about them, but big shout out to Doc Rivers over there, man. He was winning. He's been winning with a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
On that team.
He got that team playing hard.
And he got the best out of Montrezl Harrell.
Yo, Montrez, he's going to get paid.
The Rockets had him, too.
I know. He was in the Chris Paul trade.
Yeah, and he's hooping.
Yeah. I think the Rockets gave him in as like a throwaway.
Yeah.
And they should have just kept him.
He's really solid.
He is.
And, Sweet Lou over there. Sweet Lou over there, man.
Yeah.
They on the bubble right now. Are they in the playoffs still?
Yeah, they're the AFC currently, I think.
Yeah.
But they gonna drop out to me. They're like one game one game ahead of the Lakers right now. And the Kings.
No. Actually, I think they're.
No, the Kings are 9th. Lakers are 10th.
Yeah, I really don't see the Lakers making it, bro.
Man, nah. You think the NBA is gonna let LeBron James miss the playoffs?
As we speak, they're losing to Memphis.
Right now, yeah.
As we speak, man. So I don't know what's going on with them.
It's gonna be interesting, man.
Fourth quarter.
I mean, they could use Melo.
Let's not even do this, man.
Let's not do it.
Do we have time for this? Do we have time for this? Because I don't have an update on Melo.
We don't, man.
And I think there's still 3 teams that could use the services, man.
Who do you think could use them real quick?
The Blazers for sure. I'd walk him from the airport and tell Mo Harless whatever number you got is Melo's number.
Word. I think the Lakers could use them.
The Lakers and the Nets.
Oh, yeah, you did say the Nets.
The Nets.
I think the Nets could use them, but I don't think it would do it because they don't really care if they win or not. I feel like
listen, for every young team, they need some kind of playoff exposure.
I agree.
Something under their belt where they could take it from that point. And that's what Denver doesn't have. So, you know what I'm saying? But, you know.
That'll be interesting, man.
Shout out to Melo, wherever you at, man.
Wherever you at. Moving on, man. Now it's time for the crossover segment, family.
Not a game. We talking about practice.
Crossover segment, family. I'll be throwing out player comparisons from different eras as I do each and every episode. Melo Reem asks his GM and he tells me who he would take out of the two in their prime if he was building a team. First up, brother, are you taking a prime Jason Williams, white chocolate?
White chocolate, okay.
Or a prime Rajon Rondo? Let me give you the career stats. J. Will, 10 points per game, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 39% from the floor, 1-time champ. Rajon Rondo, 10 points per game, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 46% from the floor, 1-time champ as well, 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA defensive first team, and 3-time assist champ. Building a team, you taking white chocolate or you taking Rondo? Prime.
This is tough.
What you got, brother?
I might have to go white chocolate.
Tell me why.
Both of them are like floor generals, but the factor difference might be the tray ball. White chocolate towards the end of his career, he was good for a good, you know what I mean, corner pocket 3. You know what I mean? He got a little slower, but we talking prime.
He
was still good. He was hitting you with a yap, and then pull up in your face. Like, so I'm gonna go with my man White Chocolate, man. It was tough. I still like Rondo as a player, defensively, but floor general was kind of equal. And he might put some butts in the sheets, man.
Brother, I agree with you, man.
My man.
I'm definitely going White Chocolate. I feel like we're gonna be in a minority in this one, to be honest, because people like to say, I want a complete point guard. Rondo plays better defense. He's more gritty or whatever. But listen, are they sleeping on White Chocolate? Well, he was one of the best passers of all time. The elbow pass, you already know what that is. White Chocolate.
Forget that. He made the glove want to trip him.
Yes. Remember, that was early White Chocolate too. When he still had the hair before
when he
the
still had
head.
the bouncy hair.
Yep. Man, he was and he could get buckets too as well.
He could score. He just didn't want to.
He'd rather pass. So I think Jay Will, one of the most underrated point guards, I feel like, in NBA history.
I agree.
I definitely don't think he gets a lot of love. And I definitely would take him over Rondo to me. I got to do too much with Rondo's lack of shooting.
And Rondo's, he's not a real coach guy.
Dirty, too.
Yeah.
Moving on. Are you taking a prime Karl Anthony Towns right now or a prime Chris Bosh? Let me give you the career stats. Cat, 21 points per game, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 53% from the floor, 2-time All-Star, 1-time Rookie of the Year. Chris Bosh, 19 points per game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 49% from the floor, 2-time champ, 11-time All-Star. Reem, you taking Cat or you taking Chris Bosh?
It's Bosh all the way, man.
That was easy?
Yeah, that was light.
Why you say that?
Prime-wise, I mean, if we're going to call Karl Anthony Towns prime now.
Just say him right now. Yeah, he's not in his prime. He's getting there.
He hasn't even sniffed the playoffs.
He got in the playoffs last year.
But I mean, sniff it. Like, do something. My man Bosh was taking Toronto squad to the playoffs every year. And that was post Vince Carter.
I mean, he did, a few years, he did miss the playoffs.
But he was by himself.
He was.
He couldn't get nobody to come up north with him.
Yeah, I mean, he had a hard time getting showered up there with him.
And All-Star wise,
up there with him.
Oh gosh. But I'm going with my man Bosh. He could do everything from that position too. He could shoot, dribble.
I mean, but so could Karl Anthony Towns. He could shoot.
I don't like his motor.
See what's in there. I know there's something that you don't like.
I don't like his motor. When a player could come to your town like Butler and throw your whole mojo off, and now you want to be this great player after he leaves. You should be a great player at the same time he's there. He played next to LeBron without pouting. A lot of players didn't do that.
So you're not feeling the mental makeup of
No, Love couldn't do it. Bosh didn't melt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
He was instrumental for the rebound to Ray Allen that nobody talks
He
about.
was. That was
Nobody
true.
talks about the rebound.
before the shot,
You know what I'm
right?
saying?
That's true.
That was all Will.
100%. 2 for 2, brother.
Oh, my man.
Definitely
My man.
Definitely going with Bosh there as well. I don't think it's as much of a landslide as you were saying. I feel like because Karl Anthony Towns, like talent-wise, he definitely is comparable to Chris Bosh. I just feel like Chris Bosh, he gave me a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Not that he was gritty or nothing. Like
Engine-wise more?
You know. I just feel like he put his imprint on the game a lot more. I feel like than Karl Anthony Towns. Like he'll get you some stats. He'll get you 20 and 10 nightly. He's a great big. You know what I'm saying? He's a great player, Karl Anthony Towns. But I don't feel like he imposes his will on the game. And remember in the playoffs last year, Capella shut him down.
Yeah.
Quickly, easily. Like he was nowhere to be found in the playoffs. And that to me was a problem with Karl Anthony Towns. And he's not going to get to the playoffs this year. So we're not even going to see what he can do.
I don't like his legs. he's doofy to me.
He was. I'm not feeling Cat anymore as I once did. I kind of fell off on him a little bit because I feel like he regressed a little bit.
Third year in?
Third or fourth year, yeah. Same year as Porzingis.
That's
like,
bad, though.
It is. I mean, I feel like he should have took a step forward. I feel like this year he took a step back a little bit. But we'll see. If he can get aggressive, though, it might be another ball game for Cat. I got to give him love there. If he can do that. We'll see.
We shall.
So family.
Yes, sir.
Reem, episode 85. Contender or pretender. Going down a stretch run, man. It's gonna be solid going down a stretch run, bro. It's gonna be a lot of interesting storylines to look out for.
One of the best seasons, man, we had in a long time.
Most definitely. 100%. I agree. Family, so make sure you go out, subscribe on all platforms, subscribe to that YouTube page as well. Go check me out everywhere. And Reem, you say your fashion show coming up soon?
Yeah, we launching the spring line. Our season 9, April 29th. I'm gonna hit just with the link.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, RSVP show up. We on the 3rd Avenue and 44th Street on the 20th floor.
Show that love.
Come see me, man.
Yes, sir. Reem, as always, brother, appreciate you coming through as always, man.
Definitely.
Always a pleasure. So family, that's Above the Rim, episode 85. We out.